Anybody of any real importance will come here. That's why we get fewer people. Okay? Only those who know what importance is will start coming here. And isn't it nice how the Lord doesn't, he's just looking at your heart, man. Doesn't look at Daphne, just coming out of, what is it, Idaho somewhere. And just met her out. She's coming here. Look at Amy's, there's just people coming here. The Lord ain't restricting. They're looking for truth. They want to feel the Lord. They want this relation. They know it. And the Lord knows. He knows whose heart is pure. Even though, people, they think what is pure heart is some external, oh, he's a vegetarian, he's got a pure heart. Baloney, man. Not necessary. Usually not. Okay? The Lord, he knows whose heart's right. The Lord is like that. People don't know that our Lord here is very interesting. A very different set of standards than the world has. He looked at these drunks. His pastimes are fantastic, man. He looks at these drunks in the bar, and they say, "Oh, Nimai." See, they had faith in him. They liked him. Oh, Nimai Pandit, he's such a great dancer. They start dancing around like this. And the Lord liberated them just because of that. He wanted to go in the bar and give him a warm hug. He was only held back by Srivas, who said, "Oh, the Brahmins won't understand your pastimes. You know how critical they are. Their minds are so filthy and dirty. They're looking at every fault and every fault finders they are." So the Lord, just him looking in that direction, they got mercy. There you go. Thank you there, Shamaguri. I just checking you out, making sure that you're on the right track. Be a vegetarian. Wonderful. Offer the Lord, food. And it becomes transcendental too, because you're offering it to Krishna, He accepts you're a devotee, I'm just, you got to understand, I'm kind of avadut guy, I kind of like Nityananda ways. And it's important, it's important to have this side of it. You've had enough of the Brahmin side. Haven't you had enough sannyasis teaching you in your life? And not teaching you the essence, really, still. They're teaching you stuff in the mode of goodness, how to be a sannyasi even though you can't do it. How to be a Brahmin, and it's really hard and you probably can't do it right, Take you 42 years to try to perfect it, and then, that's... Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, most important is it's not a guarantee that you will be in the kingdom of God.
No.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
How Gopala ate everything while the food remained the same was transcendentally perceived by Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Nothing remains a secret to the devotees of the Lord. What does it really mean?
Yeah. See, like the same thing. Now, when you look on the transcendental level, how this shows up is this food is the same. Like here, we're reading these verses and relishing them. It's the same food, but it's being accepted. See, it's accepted. The devotees feel the happiness of God. See, oh, he's accepting my food. You can feel it. You feel the transcendental nature. See, the communion in this. But then it's still remaining the same. See, and then you can take that food out again, never get stale, and offer it again. See, the food remains the same. So it's like it's eaten but not eaten. You can offer it again, like we can offer this story. You know how many times we've read this story? I've read this story so many times. I love this story. It's over and over again. And look at the new insights over and over, just deeper insights. See, these are offerings, and it's still the same food. We'll pull that off the shelf later, never gets stale. I love that. That's why I like that. That's why I committed to this path. It's the best path. It's the best truth, man. It's the best of the best. It's the real of the real. Everything else is fake out.
Most trustworthy relationship because of giving and receiving.
Mm,
So trustworthy.
yeah.
Um, the wonderful festival and installation of Sri Gopalaji was arranged in one day. Certainly, all this was accomplished by the potency of Gopala. No one but a devotee can understand this. Madhavendra Puri offered water to Gopala for washing his mouth, and he gave him betel nuts to chew. And then, while Arati was performed, all the people chanted, Jaya, Jaya, all glory is to Gopala, arranging for the Lord's rest. Sri Madhavendra Puri, he brought a new pot, and over this he spread a new bedspread, and thus he made the bed ready. A temporary temple was constructed by covering the bed all around with a straw mattress, and thus there was a bed and a straw mattress to cover it. After the, after the Lord was laid down to rest on the bed.
Yeah, you see, this is sadhu sangha, man. This is basically we're offering. This is offering food, washing the deity. We're doing, this is the activities of devotees, and it's very relishable. Getting the betel nut, which is intoxicant, by the way, it's a symbolic of the
Yeah.
intoxication of feeding the Lord. It's part of the trip. And so doing all this, and then the deity is laid to rest. See, then the rest, after sadhusanga, you kind of rest a little bit. See, and then you come back again. They feed the deity, wash the deity. So
All
it
day
becomes a
long.
lifestyle. What else do devotees do? I mean, what else is there? And you do this, and you don't need a lot of paraphernalia to do it here. You just turn the camera on, and we get going, man. You say we can come on here personally, and we wash the deity, we feed it food, intoxicate it a little bit, you know, relish mellows, and then lay the deity to rest. I even do this when I get my fill, I go and lay down a little bit, uh, put the deity to rest, and then back up
Exhausted
again.
and fulfilled.
More food. We were kind of like the Romans, they didn't want to stop eating, they would just keep eating, until they, yeah, yeah. Go ahead there, Lolita.
Um, Now feed every. Oh, wait. After the Lord was laid down to rest on the bed, on the Vadrapuri, he gathered all the brahmanas who were prepared to prasadam, and he said to them, Now feed everyone sumptuously, sumptuously, from the children on up to the aged. All the people gathered there. They sat down to honor the prasadam, and by they took food, all the brahmanas.
See, we also do the same kind of thing too, because we have our replays. Okay, feed everybody. So we might get maybe another 100 people sit there and take the prasadam from these conversations and this chanting.
Yeah,
Or books. These are all prasadam. Maybe transcribe some of these books. Govind is making books and stuff. See, this is distribution of the prasad.
the ecstatic word. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like this way. It's a lot more simple. Easier. And it works on an internal basis. It's more
more
strong, more
effective.
effective.
Yeah,
Yeah, more effective.
good.
If you want, if you're sure about it, having no faith, I wouldn't come and listen to you. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to understand, Shamaguri. It's kind of like Krishna did with Arjuna. He shoots an arrow at Arjuna, and then it hits the whole world. See, an arrow, a word, or something. Don't think that I'm just talking to you. It's just this goes out to it's applicable to a lot of people. You think you're the only one, that's I may even treat you unfairly a little bit, just to make some points.
Using those
Yeah, it might not be really applicable fully to you or not, but it's a little hard to understand what goes on here, because it's, people, they ever heard the thing, the walls have ears? The walls have ears. Other people listen too. A lot of people might need to hear this, because it could be a big block for them. They're thinking like that. A lot of Vaishnavas think like they criticize Christians who may have a very close relationship with Christ just simply because of what they eat.
because
That's a
of what
big
they eat.
obstacle. Yeah, that'll
Absolutely.
block them from having awakening of devotion. And you're blocked here. If you look at people, anybody, you look at them by how they dress or how they eat or what they do externally, and you don't look at their hearts and how they've been accepted by the Lord. See, why shouldn't we accept what the Lord has accepted? See, that's the bottom line. You know. So yeah, yeah. Go ahead there. Hey Tom, why don't you read some Chaitanya Bhagavat? Thank you there, Lily. That was great. Let's give Tom a little. Let's get him in the batter box here, or the butter box. Get him in the butter box.
Transcendental butter, the ghee. Yes. What does it stand for? This ghee. You know?
Ghee? Well,
Yeah.
clarified butter. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that's kata kata in a pure state, or love in the purest state. Without like spontaneous devotion is like ghee. No impurities in it, no motives, nothing. No speculations, just pure ghee.
It's like nectar. Yes.
Say it again. What should we? Yeah,
Nectar.
yeah.
Yes.
We should accept. We should accept what the Lord has accepted. That's really the essence. But a lot of people don't know what the Lord accepts. See, they can't tell the difference. They can't tell. See, when a devotion, ecstatic love awakens in your heart, that means the Lord has accepted you. That's the meaning when Lord Chaitanya said, even chanting one holy name, one is worshipable. Because if you chant one holy name and the Lord has arisen, that means the Lord is manifesting in your heart. And that's just going to grow. If it in the right conditions, it'll grow. In the wrong conditions, it won't. You can't do this in the monks' Vaidhi Bhaktas. They will stifle you. They will stunt your growth because they don't want to see Krishna. They don't know. They're afraid of Krishna. They're afraid of this. They think this is wrong. Everything is still there. There's still Maya in the mode of goodness, and a lot of them aren't there. They're striving for the mode of goodness still. See, so everything is a bit twisted. So Krishna wants to arise, but he can't rise there because everybody will start pushing him down. That's why you need strong association. People are like, when you're born again, it's like a baby. He has to grow. The Lord has to grow in there and overcome all these obstacles and speculations and jungle growth, and simply by more and more cultivation of this bhakti, he gets very strong. Then you become spiritual teacher, then spiritual master. So the Lord's so strong, he's taken over, and he'll start taking over other people's lives too, which is for the good. It's great. That's what we want. Take over our lives, Lord.
You'd like me to read from where?
Read from, let me look here. Majjhikanda chapter 17.
I opened it right in that spot.
Really? Oh, must be meant, man. It's a sign.
After you said it, but you want me to read from the start?
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Thank you, Shri Gauridas.
Yeah. So anyway, why are you getting traumatized? What's the traumatized? I haven't done anything to you. I haven't said anything to you. So is somebody else traumatizing you? I mean, what? I'm just accepting. You come here, you can chant. Where's your traumatize? So let us know if you don't mind. How are you being traumatized? So anyway, go ahead and read, and we'll see what her answer is. Why should anybody be I mean, where's the trauma? Let her speak. You want to say something? Go ahead. How are you being traumatized?
By being used by you, by being like you say, you use us and say things to us just to move us forward. By constantly, I feel that I get so traumatized that I just lose everything and I go back to the beginning.
All right.
I feel
So what have I said? What have I said to you? I haven't even mentioned your name.
You haven't today because I haven't said anything.
What did I say yesterday? I didn't even yesterday. That was all in your mind. I saw how you acted. I had nothing to say. Didn't say anything to you. You were just all interpreting. You got into your story. So that wasn't me. You just got into this story. You became jealous and thinking I have new friends now. That's all in your mind. That's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with what I said. That was your own thing coming out.
Well, then, you can, and, it's not accepted that I go through trauma. I lost a circuit of blood yesterday again. And that doesn't, it's like nobody thinks that affects me. I just have to get over it just like that. People have their blood in their body to give them certain nutrients. Well, I don't have that all the time.
Did anybody, that wasn't an issue with that. I didn't know about that, or it wasn't even. I wasn't even in my mind.
As far as in my understanding, you don't really want to know about my health, and I really don't. And it's a big part of my life, the way my health is.
So is it my not knowing is causing you trauma? My not knowing this?
I just feel like I walk on this path and I'm walking along, and it feels like somebody takes the path from under my feet. And yes, and I work. You know what? I do actually work really, really hard by watching, and I watch everybody, and I make comments, and I do all the things that I like to do. And most people don't actually say anything about what I do, and that's okay. But when I go through purification or something big happens, with what happened yesterday with the machine, nobody actually wants to know because it's my karma. And I deserve it because it's my karma, and I should go through it, and I should accept it. Well, what? Sometimes I can't accept it. Most of my life, I accept it every single day, 24 hours a day. But sometimes I can't accept it. Just sometimes.
Yeah. But you're putting that out. You're projecting all that on. Nobody's thinking like that.
No, but Maharaj, I have tried to speak to you about Karuna, and you don't want to talk to me about him.
What are you talking about? Tried to speak to me about Karuna.
I have, Maharaj. Lots of times, and you always say to me things like, "Oh, I'm tired now and I've got to go." As soon as I mention his name, when I want to speak to you privately, because I know Karuna quite well, and I know that he has a really beautiful side as well. This side that he's going through right now, that I pick up on as well, is very, very. It's actually a bit traumatic for me as well. And nobody, not even Krishna, is telling me what is going off with him and what I should do about it. I'm in limbo, and I don't get any support from anybody else if Lalita helps me. Lalita helps me with Karuna.
Okay.
And is he mad?
Support.
Is he mad? Does he need sectioning? Does he know what he's doing? I think he does know what he's doing. because he says certain things to me, you know, and I get done for blamed for his stuff from the other devotees. I get and they judge me over Karuna's stuff as well, right? And okay, that's fine, right? But it causes me to be traumatized when people are saying things about me, saying that I say things to hurt them when I'm not saying anything. I'm traumatized by that stuff, and I'd rather go and hide my head in the sand to have to face that every single day when I have all of these other things to face, and everybody's thinking, well, I've got this to face, and I've got this to do, and I've got this to do, and I've got this to do. Yeah, we all have things to do, you know, and shoot me down dead because I have to speak about my things to get them out. You know, people don't want to hear it because they want to hide their own stuff under the sand. They don't want their stuff to be brought up because it's fucking painful. You know, and it traumatizes me. I feel traumatized. You know, and I can't even rely on Karuna to help me with it because he can't even take this stuff himself. Lolita's the only one that listens to me. She's the only one that has a dear heart, pure heart for me.
Oh, at least you found somebody. You know, it's great to have somebody.
Yeah, well, it's not got rid of my trauma.
Well, I'm sure it'll go gradually, these things.
Do you know what in this time, you know, Lolita saying you have ecstasy? I don't know what I have actually. I don't know. I don't know what Krishna's doing. I don't know what he's given me. I don't know because the trauma that I go through, the stuff that I go through that is really intense, like you're on a bloody roller coaster. It's not worth what I get. The amount of trauma, days of trauma. And I'm going to say that because it's not. And I've done things that you wanted me to do, and devotees have hated me for it. They still hate me for it. And it's not nice. And then just because I'm saying it, I'm classed as the bad person. Well, you know what? That's what makes you want to go and hide and run away. I understand why people...
Yeah.
They be themselves, you know, and then you can't take it anymore because people don't like you and you need to leave. You need to go so you can get some sanity because you can pick things up off people, what they say to you. And it's a real roller coaster, and I don't feel protected right now. I don't feel sheltered right now. I feel numb. That I've been just shook around, and you know, I can be shook around over and over and over again, but it doesn't get any less. It doesn't get any less. In fact, it gets worse if it gets anything.
Wow.
I don't want to spend the rest of my days, and I don't think I have that many left with the things that go off with me. I don't want to spend it like this. I don't want to spend it in trauma. You know, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's a waste of life. It's a waste. Just, you know, Lolita was saying to me, you've been doing this for 40 years. I've only been doing it for 4 years. Well, so be it. It's not. I don't feel people are being real and saying the real truth. No, because they hold things and then they use it against you later on. I don't feel part of this sangha. I just want to be by myself. I don't feel part of the sangha because I have programs that I know I have, and they don't go. They don't get any less. They don't bloody change. Krishna doesn't take them away. Why isn't he taking things away that don't serve me anymore? Why does he keep them around? They don't serve me. And I want to fucking scream and shout like a child. You know, we all have to be grown up here. Well, I do my best to be grown up here and listen to you every day. You know, I can't do anymore. And you just think it's all funny.
No, I think you're right.
You just think it's all funny. You might as well kick both of me and Karuna out of the sangha. I don't know why you don't.
Kick them all out. Get rid of them all. No, this is great. I think this is really
Yeah,
good.
it's
You're
great for
expressing.
you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great for
yeah.
you. Yeah.
No, well, it's great for you too. I think you need to express yourself. You know, it's important.
Gosh, if I want to express myself like Karuna and see how you bloody devotees like it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's picking stuff up from me that I really want to express underneath, and he's doing it for me. Have you ever thought of that?
No, I didn't think of that.
You know, maybe you told me before you left here, you be as naughty as you want. They were your words to me.
I said that.
Yes, you said you be naughty.
Sounds
You
like
said
something
that
I
when
would
I
say.
dropped you off you said be naughty. I did be fucking naughty. And then I can't bloody help being naughty.
Yeah.
I want to be naughty like Karuna. So you lot can fuck off. Come and spend a day in my life. You know, and then you get notice like Freddie saying, I just talk about myself all the time. Well, at least I show myself and I don't fucking hide away like a little bloody tortoise which hides in a shell. And I don't care now. I don't care now if nobody is my friend, because I haven't got no friends. I never really have, and I don't care about that anymore. I don't care. No. I'm not running around after people trying to suck up to them to try and be friends with them. No. You know, people tell me to grow up. You lot bloody grow up as well.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. See, Vijayatama Das says, "You inspire me, Yamuna." This is important. See, Amy says, "No, River, you belong here. We love you." See.
Well, you know what? Like you say, Maharaj, if the Vaidis don't show you, how will you know? If these people don't show me, how will I know that they feel like this? How will I know? You just, there you go. There's my rant.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. You know, your truth. It's important.
It doesn't change anything though, because I've done this many times before.
Well, is it about changing something or just?
I want to be able to go to other places and maybe get some sun and see different things instead of seeing the same fucking thing every bloody day and doing the same routine every day. I would like to do different things. I would like to come to Mexico to do Harinam with you, I would like that, but it's not possible for me because it takes a lot of effort just to arrange it and a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just to arrange it.
Hey, you know, it can find some other country maybe. I'll look at, because you know we're down here. There's other countries too. Maybe I could just go to another country. We can go and meet there or something. And yeah, so I'll look into it. It's a possibility. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, there's like Belize is just down the road. You know, it's not very far. Belize.
Depends on the dialysis. It's very expensive in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. See, Mexico is very expensive. It's like being in America, and more so in many ways. But it doesn't have to be. It's like any, you know, it just depends how you live. Like it's not expensive for me. I don't go out there do what these guys do. The people, they go out and they spend a lot of money on everything. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Anything else you want to share there, River?
No.
Okay. No. All right. So Tom, you want to read, or do you want to read a little bit there, River? You feel like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You read. Thank you.
I love you, River. Thank you.
Yeah. No.
Well,
That was
maybe show me by calling me sometimes.
Yeah. That was great to hear you share. I mean, I'm getting you now more. I'm understanding that, you know, that want to be yourself and express yourself. There's a lot of pressure over there for you. There's a lot of, it's not easy. I can see that.
It's just not easy after it's easy. It's easy sometimes because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Majikanda chapter 17, Tom.
Yeah.
What page was you on?
Just the start from the chapter.
From the top. Start at the top.
Yes, I didn't start yet.
Oh, you didn't. You haven't started yet.
No, 437.
Okay. All glories to your lotus feet, Maharaj. Srila Gaura Haridas. The glories of the devotees. All glory to Lord Gaurasundra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All glory to Lord Nityananda, the embodiment of the highest mood of devotional service. In the Madhya Kanda, the narrations of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are a cascade of nectar that can wash away the contaminations of one's faithfulness. Lord Chaitanya continued his non-stop kirtans, and even then, his abstruse identity remained undisclosed to the common man. When he went about the town, the people were stunned by his exquisite looks. They thought that he may be Cupid. However, some people also thought that his demeanor was arrogant. The atheist, logicians felt that he paid little attention and respect to the scholars holding titles. He walked about in a carefree manner, and when out, he associated mostly with his devotees. The atheists would say to Lord Chaitanya, "Oh Nimai Pandit, as your friend, we advise you to be careful, because the king might summon you to his court any day now. The people do not see you, but hear your night-long kirtans, and this disturbs their sleep. They curse you and send reports against you. And naturally, the king believes the people." Lord Chaitanya replied,
You notice how he didn't pay any respect to the titles of people. You notice that same kind of situation is here. We don't pay any respect to just external titles. The Lord was looking, hey man, are you a real devotee? Do you know the essence of truth? And he wasn't he wasn't taking things on a superficial level, and they thought that was arrogant. That was just truthful. See, he was committed to truth. Truth is no respecter of persons. They were all, like, oh, is there Nimai Pandit? He just walks around so carefree and all that. But that's what you get when you have the shelter of the Lord, like he did. You become carefree, free of cares. See, this is the thing. People have cares because they're not in the Lord, and the Lord ain't in him, and his transcendental being is not in them. See, they're in the Maya, and the Maya is in them, always agitating them, always making them restless. It's like true peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding that Jesus was talking about is being in God, and God is in you. And living like that is a lifestyle forever. Isn't it amazing? It's a simply wonderful. See? Now that's a sweet meat. Yeah. Go ahead, Devendra.
Lord Chaitanya replied, "Let it be so. Let your words become true. It has been my wish to see the king. I have studied all the scriptures since childhood, yet no one inquires from me on any subject, considering me too young and immature. I do not
Yeah,
usually.
and that's how they treat the devotees. They're thinking like that. They think like that here. Oh, these guys, well, they don't understand the scriptures. See? And they think we're too young, too immature, too unregulated. You don't have anything to say. It's always the same thing. Yeah. See, because you know why it's always the same thing is because the Lord was there and the Lord is here now inside us. See, same Lord, same moods, same carefree attitudes, same response from others. Because wherever the Lord is, that's where the same, the dynamics go on. Yeah. Go ahead there, River.
I do not usually meet anyone who actually wants to meet me. Therefore, if someone wants to have audience with me, I am indeed pleased. The atheist sarcastically continued, "The king is a Muslim. He will not engage himself in a scriptural debate. He will want to just hear your kirtan." The Lord just ignored them and went home. The Lord said to his devotees, "Let us perform kirtan. I feel discontent because I have spoken to an atheist today." The Lord of Vaikuntha Nimai Pandit began to dance, and all his associates danced around him. Suddenly, stopping everything, Lord Chaitanya spoke hastily, "Oh, my dear brothers, today everything I do lacks loving ecstasy. Perhaps because I have spoken to atheists, or maybe I have offended you, in which case kindly forgive me and resurrect my withering soul."
So you see, atheism. This is why atheists can be like anybody who's against the real spirit of the Lord. That's really true atheism. A lot of people say they're atheists, but they're really not. Because if you're, the way you test them, devotees test the people of the world just by their presence, because God is in them, and a person may say, "I'm an atheist," but they like they like what you say, they believe in what you say, stuff like that. You see, but a person could be an atheist, but they're in, like, say, these groups like ISKCON or somewhere, but they don't believe in this ecstasy. They don't believe in these words, these realizations that come from this ecstatic worship. See, that's the deeper level of atheism that people don't know. They say, "No, we're following God. We follow His rules and everything," but they don't know the transcendental Lord. They don't know the real Lord. That's the mode of goodness thing. Still material. See? The spiritual Lord is Satchidananda. See, this ecstatic Lord. These truthful, essential truths. The deep truths, the revelations. The essence of understanding. Oh, I don't like that. I'm sorry, man. We don't accept that. So that's that's atheism. That's how it's defined on the deeper levels. Jarasandha was like that. He followed the rules and regulations of the Vedas perfectly. Yet he was against Krishna, of the ecstatic Krishna Vrindavan. He came.
I only
Krishna,
want the pictures.
yeah, he wanted. He was external. He was thinking, "Oh, look at this. He kills Kamsa, his relatives." He was looking at the relative from an external point of view. Kamsa was a hypocrite. See, and Krishna killed that ignorance. See, he took him, dethroned Kamsa, and he was faulted by the Vaidhi mentality. Just like us, here we're dethroning people that are not fit to sit on the altar and take people to Vrindavan. We're dethroning them, and we get faulted. Look at this. Why are you offensive to the leaders? No, we're just taking away. Isn't that what the guru? Isn't the guru supposed to remove the obstacles? Is that true or not? That's an obstacle, yes or no? You think people that are not representing ecstatic devotion and Satchidananda in this world are in touch with the real Krishna, can bring you to the real Krishna? Yes or no? It's a court of law here. See, just answer the question. Well, no, yeah, of course not. See, so Krishna, when ecstatic love is preached, like it's being preached here, and when Lord Chaitanya, the truth has to come out of the way things actually are. No more shelter of illusions. Sorry, can't do that if you want this bhakti. You can't take shelter of these illusions. You have to take shelter of the real shelter, the real Satchidananda. Where is that going on in this world? And that's the bottom line, man. Where is Satchidananda? Where is this eternal ecstatic Ananda that's very different than any other feelings and expressions of love in this world? Anything, nothing like it at all. Where is that? Because that's where the real Lord is. He's very different like that. He's the most unique personality anywhere. He has the uniquest energy of anything. He has the uniquest feelings of anybody. See? And his devotees do too, because they're like two peas in a pod. See, they've been delivered. They have the darshan of the Lord, the real Lord. They welcome that Lord. So you got to start by welcoming the devotees, man, who bring in Satchidananda in the world. See, they bring in the chit knowledge, this kind of knowledge, and you hear every friggin' day. This essential knowledge, essential ecstasy. And then you think, oh, very good. I welcome it. See, that starts to come in you. See, by association. You get vibed. The vibes get you. Go ahead there, River.
The greatly blessed Advaita Acharya, who was plainly, I don't know that word, grimacing. Grimacing. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
That kind of
face. It's the same in Dutch, grimas.
Yeah.
With this funny face.
Funny face, yeah.
As he danced, said, How will you feel ecstasy, Nada? How will you feel ecstasy? Nada has drained it all from you. Neither Srivas Pandit nor I can achieve this Krishna prema. However, low-class millers and gardeners are relishing the exchange of devotional love with you. Moreover, even Abhadut Nityananda is a recipient of your love, but not Srivas or me. We have been downgraded and made non-eligible for your love.
Ooh, a little transcendental jealousy there. You notice? Because people are starting to get this ecstatic devotion. Like just low class persons and everything, and so Srivas and Dwaita were thinking, hey, these guys are getting it. What about us? They're thinking, what about us? Why are they getting so much? So, because the Lord was doing extraordinary miracles and just giving the low-class persons this faith in the truth, faith in Satchidananda, basically. And they were exhibiting it. It was coming in their bodies. Kind of like here, here you see the devotees. Some do, Lalita and Johan, they're getting all these amazing things. Yeah, and others,
Johan gets more than me.
Yeah, it's like, why are we downgraded, Lalita? We've been downgraded.
Yeah, I don't no, I grant it to him. Really,
We've been downgraded here. What is going on here? See? So it doesn't matter. It's all right. It's at least we got something.
We've got something to desire for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So go ahead there, River.
We have been downgraded and made non-eligible for your love, but this Avadut has come from nowhere and become the in charge of the storehouse of Krishna Prem. Listen to me, my Lord. If you do not give me this Krishna Prem, then I shall draw out from you all the love you possess. All the love you possess. Who will blame me for that? I wish I could do that.
Truth comes out.
I want more love, Krishna Prem.
It's your nature.
I feel bad for wanting more. You should be satisfied with what you have, but it's not enough.
Yeah, I know.
Advaita Acharya is always intoxicated with love of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, he is unmindful of what he says or does. He is most expert at increasing the fame and glory of Krishna's devotees, and he is the property of the Vaishnavas. They can sell and distribute him wherever he wishes. Such is a degree of his surrender to the Vaishnava devotees. Similarly, Advaita's words to Lord Chaitanya are not surprising to hear, for he is a devotee of such stature that he can control, distribute, and sell even Krishna by his loving devotion.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the bottom line. Is people just need to learn this. This is such a hidden secret that Maya keeps people away from people, and the devotees, they uncover this. They uncover the essence. Oh, just to have faith in devotees who have this ecstatic devotion, because that's how you get it. They are the only distributors. There's nobody else who can distribute it except those who are the recipients of this mercy. No one. That's a real line. You're not in the real line if a person isn't a recipient of this ecstatic mercy of the Lord. You're just worshiping. It's like a show. Oh, yes, I'm worshiping Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Radha and Krishna. But you don't know that it's all, to get a relationship with them, it comes through their real relatives, those who are actually have this transcendental ecstatic friendship. Okay?
They miss a
And
chain, yeah.
it's a chain. Otherwise, you can't hook on to the chain, and you're just disconnected. You're like without the link. You can't. You got to link up into this chain, and there's no other way. No other way. No other way. That's why you see people still chant Hare Krishna after 50 years, and still they haven't developed this ecstatic love because they got to meet the devotees. Otherwise, it's just it ends up being just rituals. It ends up being, oh, I'm going to the Sunday feast to meet my friends. It just becomes a habit, and then you do it even less infrequently, unless it's just a social thing. See, so
yeah, we'll do that later.
yeah.
Sorry.
So it all depends on this, on recognizing where this ecstatic love is, because only the devotees can get it from them. That's why you can't go to Bill Gates, or with all his billions of dollars, you can't go to him to get this. Isn't that amazing? I mean, think about it. You can't go to Trump to get this. You can't go to an ISKCON guru to get this unless they have this. And assuredly, most of them don't. I don't think there's even one that does, actually, that I've seen the symptoms. Okay? So you have to go to these exclusive, rare devotees. That's why one of the most valuable things you can do in your life is to come and hear these teachings, because this doesn't misdirect you. Everything in this world is misdirecting you, more or less. Could be directing you from mode of passion to goodness. See? Or maybe from goodness to passion and ignorance, or to some other path. See, but it's all more or less misdirection within the modes of nature. This path here in our temple, our temple here, this Sadhu Sangha program, is directing everybody to the essence of where the goal is, where the door is, how to go in the door, what is the nature of the door? What is the nature of a bona fide spiritual master? What is the nature of an associate? How important they are. What are their qualities? What are their qualifications? What is the quality of this love? All of these essential subject matter. See, we only go into essence. All the fluff is out. We just move the fluff away and just get to the essence so that people can quickly attain this. This is part of the attaining this, is getting clear on what it is, where it is, what is the process. See, and we have it. It's all in the books. He just said right there, it's the devotees who you get it from them and only them. Go ahead there, River.
Right now. One moment, Maharaj.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Lord Chaitanya arranges so many ways for his devotees to advance in spiritual life. Who can understand? Who can understand his mercy and ways of chastising? The Lord felt empty within, devoid of Krishna prema, and Advaita Acharya clapped his hands.
That's another thing you start to experience is when you feel like devoid of Krishna prema, you feel like it's like you're like hollowed. You've been hollowed out by this prema. This prema is your life now. See, and then you feel like a hollow tube without it. This is what Jesus said. If you depart from me, you become like a branch outstretched with no life. Because once you make contact with the spiritual potency through the devotee, which they are actually, and you start to be hollowed out, start getting this spiritual taste. That's your life now. No more of the modes. They don't get you off like it does people. They're all restless in the modes in the world, and they feel tasting this mode and that mode. It's all these tastes, very limited, but it's all external sense enjoyment. So they're going, that's their motive in life. Here, you make contact with the devotee, and you're on your way out now by being hollowed out by this taste, this purifying, see, to the point, and only ecstatic devotion now is your life, is your food, these mellows. You become like the liberated devotees. There's no other way than going this way. The devotee themselves is the teacher, the teaching, and the energy. Everything is in that. It's encapsulated in the form of the spiritual master and the associates. They carry the Lord into this world, and they carry you out of this world in that way. You're carried in and you're carried out. Go ahead there, River.
The Lord felt empty within, devoid of Krishna prema, and Advaita Acharya clapped his hands and danced. Lord Vishvambhara heard the words of Advaita Acharya, but did not reply. Right then, he left the house, closing the door behind him. Nityananda and Haridas Thakur hurried after him. The Lord was brooding, considering himself devoid of Krishna prema, and thereby the maintenance of his body. He thought useless. Accordingly, he plunged into the waters of the Ganga. Nityananda and Haridas Thakur almost simultaneously jumped into the water. Swimming swiftly, Nityananda caught the Lord by his hair, and Haridas firmly gripped his feet. They brought Vishvambhara to the safety of the riverbank. The Lord inquired of them, "Why did you capture me? What is the necessity of prolonging this lifeless soul who has no love of Krishna? You have committed a mistake." Both Nityananda and Haridas were shaking in fearful anticipation of what might occur next. Gaurachandra, looking at Nityananda, said, Why did you catch me by my hair?" Nityananda replied, "Why were you trying to finish yourself?" Lord Chaitanya said, "I know You are always engrossed in love of Krishna. Nityananda replied, "O Lord, please forgive everything. The person who nearly perished is the person for whom you are trying to sacrifice your life. Your devotees have spoken to you harshly out of loving insolence, and on these grounds you must leave us. You who art the most precious life of your servitors. Always relishing Lord Chaitanya's love, Nityananda spoke with an endearing voice, full of affection and love. Tears filled his eyes, for Chaitanya means everything to Nityananda. The Lord said, "Listen carefully, Nityananda and Haridas. Do not disclose to anyone that you have seen me. If anyone inquires, tell them you know nothing of my whereabouts. I will remain here in hiding. If you do not follow what I say, then I am not responsible for the consequences." The Lord then went to Nandana Acharya's house. Being bound by the Lord's order, Nityananda and Haridas did not reveal any of these facts to anyone. The devotees entered a state of painful shock and took shelter in Lord Krishna. When they did not receive any news of the Lord, the devotees entered a state of painful shock and took shelter in Lord Krishna. When they did not receive any news of the Lord, they were torn apart by separation from their Lord. Their hearts and minds were burning up. The devotees felt thunderstruck, especially Advaita Acharya, who was ravaged by a tremendous sense of guilt. Feeling intense separation from the Lord, he went home and began to fast, not hearing his own name. The other devotees also went back to their homes, their hours darkened up by deep sorrow, but ensconced, I don't know that word, ensconced. Within their hearts was their only treasure, scorched. Within their hearts was their only treasure, the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord entered Nandana Acharya's house and sat on the throne of Sri Vishnu. Nandana Acharya felt that his house was now most blessed by the Lord's presence. He fell flat on the ground to offer obeisances to the Lord. He immediately bought fresh new clothes to the Lord, and Lord Chaitanya changed out of his wet clothes into the new ones. Nandana Acharya then decorated the Lord with the flower garland of the deities, sandalwood paste, scented oils, and bought him chewing betel leaf in camphor. The Lord enjoyed these offerings made by his pure devotees in loving surrender and forgot his aching heart. The Lord said, "O Nandana Acharya, kindly hear me. I want you to hide me here." Nandana replied, "My dear Lord, that is almost an impossible task. Where in this entire creation can you hide? You could not remain hiding within the hearts of the living entities, but were made to appear in person by your pure devotees. No one who could not successfully hide, lying in the middle of the vast milk ocean. How can he hide in the middle of this congested human inhabitation?" Lord Chaitanya smiled, appreciating Nandana Acharya's words, and passed the night in his house. Nandana was indeed very pious and fortunate. He conversed with the Lord the whole night long with the greatest of pleasure. Divining. Is that divining? divining topics of Lord Krishna, divining topics of Lord Krishna and his pastimes. As if in a short moment, the night was gone, and as the Lord looked out, he saw the first faint light peeping through. At first, the Lord in his mind was chastising Advaita Acharya, but later he felt very compassionate towards him. Lord Chaitanya instructed Nandana Acharya, bring Srivas Pandit here alone. Nandana left immediately for Srivas Pandit's house and brought him to the Lord's presence. Srivas Pandit broke down in tears of love as soon as he saw Lord Chaitanya. The Lord spoke to him ever so kindly. Do not worry anymore. Now tell me how are the other devotees, and in particular, Advaita Acharya? Tom, do you want to read? Because I took your place. Yeah, you read. I'm at the top of page 441.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srivas Pandit described the critical condition of the devotees and said, there is more news. Advaita Acharya is fasting since yesterday and is somehow still alive. Only his body remains. He is exceedingly afflicted. Be merciful to him, my Lord, and appear before him in person. If this concerns someone other than Advaita, I would not feel responsible. Whoa. Something happens to me when I read this sentence. If this concerns someone other than Advaita, I would not feel responsible. But I know that you mean everything to him. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Well, there is more news, Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is fasting since yesterday and is somehow still alive. Only his body remains. He is exceedingly afflicted. Be merciful to him, my Lord, and appear before him in person. If this concerns someone other than Advaita, I would not feel responsible. But I know that you mean everything to him. It's because I don't understand this sentence and I don't get it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Say it
If this concerned, yeah. If this concerned someone other than Advaita, I would not feel responsible. But I know what you mean, that you mean everything to him. Okay.
He's his close associate, so he's really concerned about him.
Yeah, and then I would not feel responsible. Why is it said I would not feel responsible? If this concerns somehow other than Advaita, I would not feel responsible.
I wouldn't be that concerned.
Okay. I can just go on. Without you, my Lord, our lives are dark and gloomy. That is the reason why we are suffering such excruciating pain in separation. Yeah. Srila Gauridas was talking about being hollowed out and stretching out as a branch stretched out with no life. Without you, my Lord, our lives are dark and gloomy. That is the reason why we are suffering such excruciating pain in separation. Your leaving us is more than enough of a harsh chastisement. I just looked up the word chastise. It means purification, purify. Your leaving us is more than enough of a harsh chastisement. So now kindly return and give us your mercy. Hearing Srivasa's words, Chaitanya felt supremely compassionate and left to see Advaita. Upon arriving, the Lord saw Advaita in a state of most abysmal gloom, thinking himself the worst offender. Advaita felt he had become overly proud. Oh, come on. I don't know how to stop this. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Hearing Srivasa's words, Chaitanya felt supremely compassionate and left to see Advaita. Upon arriving, the Lord saw Advaita in a state of most abysmal gloom, thinking himself the worst offender. Advaita felt he had become overly proud by receiving the Lord's special grace. Oh yes. Now he was shaking all over his body from this punishment by Lord Chaitanya. Wow.
That happens too. You know, devotees, they get so much grace, they get a little bit of proud of it too. The gopis also. It just happens. It comes with the territory. The Lord, sometimes he'll disappear, and you wonder, where did he go? You know, and that's chastisement. He just disappears. He always comes back. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think that's enough for now. We've been here 3 hours. That's good. Take a little break. Put the deity to rest for a little bit. Thank you for coming there, Juggle Krishna and Shamaguri and Bhakti Tom and Vijatma Das. And see, you got a lot of friends here. Ivo says, River, I love you, River, and Karuna. And then, let's see, Daphne says, oh, I pray I someday can be vocal about what matters to me like you are. See? Set the example. See, you got to be yourself, everybody. You know? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, thank you for coming, everybody, and we'll be back. Keep coming, you know, keep cultivating this. This is a cultivation of bhakti, you know, and the Lord will start resurrecting and growing in you more and more and more. That's what it's about. You know, you see this, everybody's on this path here. The Lord's just growing up. Thanks, River. I'm glad you shared what you did.